Today I'm going to finish with that 4-step protocol. The first step is goal setting. I love this because I'm a wellness coach. But again, this came from the military, and think about that for a second. The military is going into these high stress, super dangerous situations. Their first step is to establish a goal. Wonderful. When you are going in to communicate anything with anyone, you need to know what that end goal, what you want that end goal to be. What do you want to get out of this communication that you're having? Are you trying to have more strategic communication, change their mind? Are you trying to be more persuasive? Are you trying to educate? Are you trying to inform, to spread joy, spread light? There's so many different goals, but not setting a goal just means that you might be floating all over the place. So it's really important to set that goal. By the end of this, let's say for me, by the end of this video, I want you to have a few tips and tools and a 4-step protocol to help you become better at the skill of public speaking. That is my goal. Wonderful. I thought that before I started today. Now, the second step in our 4-step protocol is arousal control. Why is a wellness coach and a yogi here talking to you about public speaking? Well, first, communications was my first love. But second, you need to be able to control your arousal, your stress, in order to become a good public speaker. Because probably, and I think the statistics are somewhere in between 80 and 90% of people experience anxiety around public speaking. So that's most everybody is experiencing that feeling of anxiety and stress when they have to go up and speak. That is a physiological response. Your hands might sweat, and it's important to know what yours are. You might shake a little bit. Your breathing might change. You might hold your breath in anticipation. You may sweat all over, not just your hands. There are so many different things. You might start to fidget. There might be some nervous habits that you do. We need to start to become aware of these things. That's why filming yourself is so helpful for improving our public speaking skills. But you need to be aware of your nervous habits. What are they? What do they look like? And then when you start to feel them leading up to that public speaking event, befriend them. We use mindfulness in my public speaking with my public speaking clients because it's so helpful to not be super critical and judgmental of yourself when you're trying to improve a skill. Be aware. Befriend that feeling of anxiety. Because if you understand anxiety, you also understand excitement. And excitement and anxiety are the same kind of physical responses. It's the same kind of physiological response. So you might just be excited about what you're going to be talking about. You can frame it differently in your mind and not be so scared of it. People start to feel anxious and then they want to stop feeling anxious, and then they're anxious about feeling anxious. And then it's just like this rabbit hole. So we use arousal control and first awareness, just like any mindfulness practice. It's kind of that awareness. What does it feel like in your body? Understand that it's natural. Understand that it's going to happen. And then second, we implement breath work. I'm not going to get into that deeply today because this is already kind of a long video. But my favorite breathing technique is box breathing to reduce stress and anxiety. And there's a lot that goes into that. But box breathing is what we use in my protocol with my students for arousal control, to decrease that sympathetic nervous system response that we're having, to ground down. The third step in the 4-step protocol is mental rehearsal and visualization. That's a hard word for me to say. Visualizing. Mental rehearsal and visualization. I like, as a wellness person, I think it's cool to think about the athletes that are using this, like the Michael Phelps and the professional athletes, the Olympians that use these mental rehearsal techniques and really visualizing step by step their performance. And if you're going up on stage, you are performing. You might be having performance anxiety, right? This is what you might feel. And instead of being scared to do it, Walk through it. It will get easier as you move through it. And as you're doing this, you can do this in your mind first. Visualize yourself succeeding every step of the way, nailing your entire delivery. Visualize the way you want people to look at you and perceive you, and how you want to look yourself, how you want to get your message across. Like, go through the whole thing a few times so that you've already practiced it. Your mind sometimes doesn't know if it's real or fake, depending on how detailed you get with that mental rehearsal. It doesn't know the difference. So really allow yourself the time to sit and start thinking about, especially if it is a big event and there is a lot at stake here, give yourself that time to sit in it and really visualize yourself being successful. Okay, so practice. And practice in your mind. You don't even have to say this beat. Run it through in your mind using all the senses. That's one thing I want to note when you are doing the visualization, using all the senses. Finally, the fourth step in our 4-step protocol is positive self-talk. You have to become your own coach. I use this concept in all of my wellness coaching, all of my life coaching with all my clients. Like, I'm coaching you. My job is to make you become your own coach. My job is to graduate you, so you can start to implement this 4-step protocol 5 years from now when you have a big speech, or you can start to implement some of the wellness coaching and some of the life coaching in the future for yourself, because you're going to be your own best coach. You're going to know external motivation isn't nearly as effective as internal motivation. So my job is to build you up as your own best public speaking coach, so that every time it comes up, you have some of the framework, you have some of the tips and the tools, you can go back and run through all this stuff. But you have to be talking to yourself as if a coach would talk to you. And what coach is effective who's just, you're doing this awful, you're doing this terrible? Like, no coach ever, at least no coach I've ever had. An effective coach really knows how to speak to their players to get the most out of them, to inspire, to help them move through fear, and they pull out all that potential. So you're going to start to develop that inner coach. When you tend to fall down that negative self-talk pattern that we all get in the habit of doing, I want you to pull yourself out. Have a few positive affirmations if that works for you, journaling if that works for you, whatever works for you to improve that positive self-talk. Again, I'm not going to get into a lot of those strategies in this video today, but that is the fourth step in our protocol to improve public speaking. So I hope that you found that this was helpful. I hope that you were able to make a few notes, get a few tips, start working towards this skill that you can definitely improve. So comment suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. If you are interested in working with me, there'll be a link in there. I also have a full breathing course online, which helps with stress, anxiety, helps to balance your mood. Breathwork is really powerful, so if you don't know a lot about it, it could be like your secret sauce in success and feeling more content, more peaceful day to day. So check out that link to the breathing course. It's pretty low price. I'll put a code in there too for $10 off. And I hope you have a great day. Breathe well. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.